Hello everyone, Vlog here. So, is your bike running like a sack of shit? Are the power bands that you're adding on doing absolutely fuck all? Is your 125 refusing to do power wheelies in all of the 5 gears? Is the engine sounding like 2 skeletons fucking on a corrugated steel roof? Well, there could be a few things that are wrong with the engine. You could have the bore could be wore out. You could have piston slap. You could have the rings could be fucked. But there are other things that would be wrong. Very apparently wrong if piston rings were fucked. Actually, this engine has perfect compression, 150 psi, so I know that's fine. But if it's knocking, if it's losing power, then one of the culprits is the cam chain, and that's the case I think in this case as well. So the easy way to check if your cam chain is past its prime is to check the adjustment on the cam chain tensioner. In this case we've got an automatic cam chain tensioner. Some of the bikes have a manual one, some bikes have none. Actually, I found out there are bikes which have got no cam chain tensioner, like Sim fucking Wolf. That's very interesting. So you have to fucking replace the cam chain every couple of thousand miles. But that's going off fucking topic. So it's still fucking shit. This bike has done 9,000 miles and the cam chain is already fucked. But I digress. So how to check if your cam chain is past its prime? You have to take the cam chain tensioner off and check how far, how much adjustment it has left, basically. So 3 bolts in this case, 2 bolts that hold it to the engine casing and 1 bolt that holds the spring. This is the first bolt you have to take off. I already cracked them loose. Obviously be very careful when cracking them loose. This bolt, as I said, has a spring behind it, as you can see, so make sure that it doesn't go in your face like it almost did to mine. Come on, bastard. There you go. Just a bolt with something on it and bit of a spring. Nothing special. And then 2 bolts, again, crack them loose. Remember, when you're cracking loose bolts, don't just crack one and then undo it. Crack both, undo them a little bit, side by side, go between them, and then take them off when they're completely loose. If you don't do it, you're risking cracking or warping the castings. Remember, this is made out of finest Chinesium, so it's very soft. Retract the tensioner. You'll also have a little gasket, so if it doesn't, if you don't fuck up the gasket, you can reuse it. Obviously, all the manuals will tell you replace the gasket, replace the O-ring. Well, not always. Anyway, that's the cam chain tensioner. Little nice doohickey. So you can see it's very far out. Like there's about, I don't know, 3 mil travel left. About 3 clicks from what I've counted before when I was taking it apart. I'd assume it's probably would want to be somewhere here when it was new. Like it won't be all the way in, obviously, but you know that's fucking excessive, isn't it? That's a bit shit. That's a condition called no fucking good, isn't it? Right. So what's happening in this case when your cam chain stretches? Obviously this goes out, it pushes it, it maintains the tension, but it gets to a point where it's a bit shit. The spring isn't really applying the right tension to it. What I also did was I've stretched the original spring a tiny bit, and it eliminated most of the knock. But it's a very short-term solution because you have to replace the cam chain anyway eventually. The reason is that obviously you're going to completely run out of travel, and then you're going to lose the tension, and eventually the engine is going to go pop. But why it's running really badly when the cam chain is past its prime? The reason is there's going to be a misalignment, because this is pushing on the cam chain here only. If it was on both sides, then you know it will be slightly different. It's only pushing on this side, so the camshaft is rotated slightly ever so slightly off its proper position. So it means that your valve timing is also off by a few degrees, and that may not be a massive problem at like low RPM, low power, but when you at really high RPM, it really starts to get really bad. And at the best case scenario, you're losing a lot of power. At the worst case scenario, you have valves going into the piston, blowing the engine up. So it is quite important to get that sorted pretty much as soon as you find the issue. Thankfully, on this bike, it's not that bad to get that done, because it's just this casting and the alternator. I have to take the alternator off this casting. I'll probably get away without having to take the head off, which is really good because it means I don't have to pay for a fucking new gasket and then new bolts and bullshit like that. So it's just this casting, and that's going to be job done. The tensioner can stay the same because it as I said, it's just an automatic little, you know, doohickey which does its own thing. So anyway, that's how you do it. I'll try to get some videos of me changing the cam chain if I can be asked, and if I have time, and this and yada. Last thing is, while I'm at it, might as well show you how to reinstall the cam chain tensioner. Super easy. Obviously, make sure that you know the orientation is supposed to go in. In this case, this writing bit should be facing up-ish. There is an O-ring here, which the manual tells you to replace. Obviously, I'm not going to bother because YOLO. Put 2 bolts in. Right, so this is a quite important thing when you're installing it. Make sure that the adjustment is all the way in. The spring is going to do its job later on, and it's going to push it out. So bolt it in first. Obviously this is a fastener you probably would want to torque to a correct specification, but I'm going to be taking it off anyway probably, so it doesn't matter. And the doohickey with a spring, obviously you could just hear that couple of clicks, which means it just adjusted itself. It's probably going to click a little bit more as I put pressure on it. Oh, it didn't, doesn't matter. Come on, you stupid fucker. Get in. You know, I'm getting old. I can't get things into holes anymore. Again, use your pliers to round off the fastener to the correct torque. And don't swing like a fucking monkey from the wrench with those, because you're going to strip them at the best case and you're going to be very unhappy, trust me. It literally just like a little bit, just tiny bit. If you don't have a torque wrench, if you have a torque wrench, use a fucking torque wrench, simple as. But if you've done it like 50 fucking times like I did, doesn't matter. Anyways, Plebmo Vlog signing out.